Hi, everybody. Hi, happy March 1st. I hope everybody's having a great evening. This is Karen here, your favorite virtual assistant. In today's live, we're going to be discussing does customer service applies to retail or to all industries? But before I start this conversation, I want to introduce my co-host here. Janet will be joining us in a few. But Gail, introduce yourself. What do you do? Who do you serve? And what is your business?
Hi guys, my name is Gail. I am from the sunny, beautiful island of Barbados, and I am a customer experience business strategy expert. What does that mean in English? I just help entrepreneurs understand that they need to focus on customer experience rather than put it on the back burner, because when they bring it to the forefront, you can build your brand loyalty and add to your bottom line, upskill your team, and it's a win-win situation rather than pretending it doesn't exist or you don't have to pay attention. And that is what I do in a nutshell.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna start. Janet will come in. The other co-host will come in when she get a chance. So, all right. So I'm gonna start by saying about a week ago, I put in a poll, asking right when you hear the words customer service, what industry comes to mind? And there was four options. The first option was retail. The second option was real estate. The third option was healthcare, and the last option was other. And I was it was interesting because at least 80% of the people asked said retail, which I
Hmm.
honestly wasn't surprised because when I started working, a few years ago, right? A few years ago, customer service, I really did only link it to retail. I did not link it to any other industries. But
Hmm.
as you work, as you evolve, and as you get to different positions, you come to learn. Oh my God, customer service applies to all jobs. Every
Yeah.
industry has a customer service. It needs to have a customer service journey and a customer service experience. So
Hmm.
Janet, you being a customer service expert, what did you take on this topic? What do you think about that?
Well, I agree. Most people tend to link customer experience or customer service to retail only, but you find that, I mean, even if you're going to a doctor's office, if you're going to a lawyer's office, anywhere you go, you need to have a customer experience that makes you want to come back. So, for example, if you had to wait forever in the doctor's office, that's not a good customer experience. If you're trying to get something exchanged and you don't get it exchanged and they don't communicate with you on time, that's a bad customer experience as well. And over the years, what was very interesting for me is that I learned that there's also an internal customer experience side. So whoever you work with on your team, they're also your customers. So if you work in accounts, for example, and you don't process invoices on time, or you don't process performer invoices on time, write those checks on time, you affect, for example, the salesperson they've killed themselves to get that sale. I know they can't finalize that sale because they're the internal they as the internal customer is not getting they're not getting served. So it's interesting, you have external customers and you have internal ones, and the customer experience needs to be top notch regardless of who you are. Everybody just wants to be served and they want the best experience ever.
Okay. Hey, Janet. We got Janet
Hi
just came
Ken,
in.
hi
Hi,
Hi,
Janet.
Janet.
ladies.
Hi.
Hi. So we just started, but before we continue, we want to introduce you as well. So tell the people, what is your business? Who do you serve? And what do you do?
My business is empowering people to find their true passion. And if they are struggling in whatever career path they are in, they can reach out to me to network, to build relationships. And every relationship that I build, I do it with a very open mind. And it actually allows me to be innovative, to be able to think creatively and come up with solutions that we can implement together that will pretty much transform the world. So if you're looking to change the world, please reach out to me.
Okay, that's powerful. Change.
Yeah. And Janet can do it.
Yes,
She
you could
can do
definitely
it.
do it. Yes,
I
definitely.
love the red, Gail.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I got the memo.
That's yes.
Yeah.
So, people discussing customer service and how does it applies to just not retail but all industries, right? Because I put up a poll about a week ago, just asking the question: when you hear the words customer service, what industries that comes to mind? And 80% of the people actually said retail. So Janet was mentioning how it's important to have a customer service journey and a customer service experience. So Janet, do you want to continue? And then Janet, I'll take your point on it. Okay.
Of
Clear?
course.
Okay. Janet, go
It's
ahead. Gail, I'm sorry.
so important with customer
Yes.
service. It doesn't matter if you're in retail, it doesn't matter if you're in the restaurant industry, the hospitality industry,
Mhm.
travel, whatever industry you are in, your customers, your clients are number one. And if they don't feel valued, there is going to be a point where they go with your competitor or they just
Mm-hmm.
decide to stop investing attention and money, big money, into your business and in that category. So, unfortunately, I believe it. I piggybacked off of your post, your poll, Karen, and I
Mhm.
set up my own poll on LinkedIn. I wanted to know in the customer service industry, what quality do you value the most as a consumer? And the options that I allowed people to pick from was clear communication. Also, do you care more about the the personality of the person, such as are they kind, are they empathetic to your needs? So that was the second one. The third one was, are you do you care more about somebody who's willing to go above and beyond for problem resolution? And I believe it was about 60% of the people voted
Wow.
clear communication. So speak
Mm-hmm.
about
Wow.
communication. We
Mm-hmm.
live in a world today where it is limitless. We have Zoom, we have LinkedIn, we have, yeah, the telephone,
Mm-hmm.
but also texting on your phone and being able to go to the website of a person's business and just chat with somebody. So communication
Mm-hmm.
is very important. And
Yep.
that was number one. So for me, I love that you highlighted that topic because it's so important that something so easy as clear communication could get could let people down where
Mm-hmm.
essentially they don't want to do business with you anymore. So that I it actually really makes me think about times where I get really frustrated and I'm curious, Gail,
Mhm.
the industry that you're in, how would you deal with a client when they come to you asking for help? I don't know what's going on. I have all these apps, I have all these systems and softwares in place, help me, but because I'm losing customers, is it my product? What is your stance on approaching a client like that, where
Mm-hmm.
they come to you with this known issue?
Scenario, yes. So that scenario though could be the result of so many different things. So when I first go in and I have my consultation with that client, they need to sit down with their team first before they do anything else. And there are 5 questions they need to ask. And why do they need to have their team? Is because sometimes their team knows more about their customer than they do as the leader. Just saying, because those people interact more. They know what they want, how they feel, and the person leading may not know. So one of the things they need to ask, and I made a note, like, who are your customers? Your customers, not any and everybody. We get confused very quickly. We think our customers, the whole world is not our customer. So they need to pin down who are your customers, how do they know about you? Because you need to know how is it by word of mouth? Is it social media? You need to write these things down. Why should they choose you instead of somebody else? Which is a very good question. A lot of people don't know the answer to that one either. Who are your top competitors? And then the last question we talk about, is there anything you can do differently based on what your competitors are doing? So before we even do anything else, we have to find the answers to those 5 questions. And then anything else can come into play. And we need to do it as a team. It's like a nice little retreat where people answer honestly. No answer is the wrong answer, because at the end of the day, you're trying to pin down who your customers are, what you're really offering them. I guess what you're trying to do
Mhm.
is, are you giving your customers what they want, how they want it, when they want it, and at a price they can
Mhm.
afford? That is really,
Right.
that's it. Because some people don't know. Some people just don't know. They think they have a product and it's the best thing since sliced bread, and really and truly, it is not. It is not. I am here to show you why it is not. I say it with love, but
Excuse me.
sometimes you need to have these conversations. But at the end of the day, then after the conversation, we can come up with a strategy that helps you, really seriously build your brand, your loyalty, and actually, be more focused as to what you're doing and how you're building your business. And that's important. If not, you're just there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, Gail. I definitely agree. Especially like what you mentioned, knowing who you're talking to is important. Like even for myself, when you start a business of any kind, any sort, a lot of time people don't know who are their customers,
Hmm.
right? So I think that's what the gap is: understanding who you're speaking to and know how to speak to that person. I think that's
Hmm.
important as well, right?
Right.
But I think that's definitely important, especially what you said, Janet, with communication. And I also do wonder in a place, right? In this, we got so many options when it comes to communication. Sometimes it tends to fall in between the cracks. Things always tend to, doesn't always follow through the way it should.
Hmm.
And it also wonder, customer service experience should be where a customer should come. Like for example, if I go someplace, if I call a doctor's office and you have to wait for an hour to speak to someone,
Hmm.
that kind of is a turn off.
It is.
Like why do I
It
have to wait
is.
an hour to speak to someone,
Hmm.
or make a
They
restaurant? It
care
doesn't
about
matter.
me. I want to
Yeah.
match.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I agree. And
But
just sorry, go ahead, Joe.
I was gonna say, but the disconnect there is that you're going to see the doctor, for example, and
Mm,
he's normally behind a door somewhere else, and your interaction is with the receptionist or the nurse. So the
right.
doctor who is in charge of the business does not know, I think, how long you're out there waiting. So that that's why you need to have your customer surveys, and you need to find a way to have conversations with your customers so that you will know. You remember I asked, are you serving them how they want to be served, when they want to be served? He may still be getting a lot of money, but he does not know how frustrated you are. And one day you're not going to go back. You're just going to find another doctor, but he's not on the pulse of what's happening outside of his door.
Yeah, that's no. From my experience, that's true. The doctor
Mm-hmm.
doesn't always know what's going on in the front, in the front, because he's
Front.
in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. But at the same time, it's important to know who you're hiring in the front. What qualities do they
Correct.
have?
Yes.
Because the front person is actually the first person you're going to meet.
Mm-hmm.
So if they
And
have,
they're filling your business. It's that person
Yeah,
in the front
yeah,
filling your business. It is true.
they are the
yeah,
face of your company. How they communicate clearly, or
Mm-hmm.
if they walk in the door with a bad attitude
hmm,
and they're stressed, they're dealing with so much. All it takes is a little bit of staff training, and for
yes,
whatever
Mm-hmm.
reason, connect
Mm-hmm.
with your employees. They
Yes.
are the face of your business. And
Mm-hmm.
I if that was my business, I would like to know if Shauna, who is handling the telephones, if her son's in the hospital, or if
mhm,
somebody just passed away, but she's nervous to ask for time off
Time
of
off.
work.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's what organizations nowadays, I feel like there's just loss of reality and loss of human connection. We live in this
Mm-hmm.
great day and age where technology is phenomenal, but how do we miss that human interaction? I
Mm-hmm.
right,
feel like technology is there to support and enhance. And
And not
without
replace.
understanding that
Mm-hmm.
this goes hand in hand, your business is set to fail.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially, Gail, you just mentioned something very important when you just said when Janet was talking about technology is here to help and enhance, and you jumped in to say, but not to replace, which is
Not
true.
replace. Mm-hmm.
Because you remember back in the days when the doctors used to call you confirming the appointment, and
Mm-hmm.
or they would know your mom's name and they know your daughter's
Mm-hmm.
birthday, because just based on listening to you and remembering back those things,
Right.
Yeah.
that doesn't happen
That doesn't
nowadays too
happen.
much.
Yeah, we're
It
losing the
doesn't.
human touch. We're losing the human touch.
Yeah,
Right.
and another aspect of customer service is problem resolution. A lot of staff members does not know how to solve customer problems.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They don't. They
But
don't
it
have the
goes back to
training.
what Janet said, the training. So
Yes.
why I love the consultation that we do in the beginning before we even, decide if we're going to be partners is that we have those kind of conversations and we ask the team, is your leader supportive? Do they know your mom? Do they know your son? Do you know
Yeah.
what time you need to leave to go to pick up anybody from daycare? Are they flexible? Because sometimes what I've learned as well in this business is that when you see an employee acting out, there's always a background story. They could be only getting minimum wage, the leader doesn't care. um, how they behave is normally reflective of how they are being treated as an employee. Usually, I mean, you could have somebody who is deliberately being
Hmm.
difficult, but there's normally a story behind why people behave the way that they do. And if you treat your people right, they will treat your customers right. That's the golden rule for customer service. If you treat
Yep.
your people right, they're gonna treat your customers right. So you can normally tell when there's an issue. And I love
Like,
Yeah.
secret service work. I normally do a lot of secret service work. I do spying and stalking, and I
I
do a
love
lot of stuff
bugging.
before I go in and say, "Oh well, so you know what? I went by and this is what I saw." So we need to have a
That is
conversation.
so awesome.
she
I
goes
love that.
she
I
goes
love that
straight
because
into the
I've been on
camera.
the end
I'm
where
like the
you're
FBI.
you work for an organization and they don't want to listen, or
No,
you're
yes,
so
correct.
intimidated and
Hmm.
you're scared to speak up. And that's not the kind of culture that you want your business in. You want to be a great leader. You want to be
Hmm.
clear, concise. You want to let your staff know, hey, I fail sometimes. It
Right.
gives them a
Yes.
window of opportunity to be like, oh my goodness, he just said he failed. Well, I failed last month, but I didn't want to say anything. It
Mm-hmm.
gives people an opportunity to be very transparent and honest, and they will work harder for you if
They
you are
will.
the type of leader that allows that type of culture where you can be completely transparent. And it's okay to fail, but let's work together to see where we can improve and figure
Mm-hmm.
out where the lessons can be learned and where we can actually fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with both of you ladies are saying. Customer service, it's a big part, a big chunk of your business. Before you can have the most amazing product, the most amazing services, but if your customer service is not exceptionally excellent, that business might not survive too good. I'm sorry to say it, but those are the people that hold your business, that carry your business. So it's
Mm-hmm.
important to make them feel, you know, cared for, appreciated, welcome into your business. And it's also important to, let's say, for instance, you have a customer that maybe based on what they're looking for, you might not provide that service. It's okay to be like, hey, listen, I know somebody that can help you. I don't provide that service, but I know somebody who can help you,
Mm-hmm.
because that person will make it feel, oh, wow, that's great. At least because she doesn't have what I need. She just threw me to the corner. She didn't care to hear what I was saying. I
Yeah.
How
have
many
called.
times do you get transferred and you have to explain yourself
Yeah.
over and over
Yeah.
and over?
Yes,
Do
yes.
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
take notes the first time around?
Yeah,
A
that's
Yeah.
annoying.
It is very
little bit
annoying.
of
Yeah.
stress. What would you
Correct.
recommend, Gail, if you were to give 3 tips today on
Mm-hmm.
how everyone can actually address the customer service issue, if there is a customer service issue, or how they can enhance if they've already have a great reputation for
Hmm.
customer service? What are 3 tips that you can give today?
The three tips I would give would be they need to do some stalker work. I know that sounds funny, but they really need to take a step back and see their businesses from the customer's point of view rather than their point of
Hmm.
view. So if I use Karen's example about the doctor's office, they could, if they couldn't do it themselves, like how they have mystery shopping, they could assign somebody to be that, that patient that sits in the waiting room for 2 hours so that they can give them the feedback. So they need to find out what's really going on in their business, and they need to listen. They need to have conversations, as in one-on-one words and not robotic, not through an app. They need to speak to their customers and they need to have conversations with their team. And then they need to show some empathy and come up with a plan where everybody works together and not, I'm in my little corner, you're in your little corner. And I take what Karen says. I think what she said to another point too, because there's enough business globally for everybody, but we want
Mhm.
to hoard it. And I think the opportunity to collaborate is always there. So if I can't serve the customer, there's no reason why I shouldn't say, okay, well, you know what, Janet has that service. We have a
Mhm.
good relationship. Feel free to give her a call. Karen can do that for you. And I don't lose out because when
Right.
Janet can refer the person to me or Karen, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it back. But we want to
Right.
hold on and hold on so much that we lose it in the end because we're not fixing things in our own house. We're so busy trying to, you know, does that make sense?
It
Yeah,
does. It does.
that's
It
why
really do make
networking
sense.
is key.
Yeah,
Building
yeah.
Yes.
relationships, keeping awesome relationships.
Collaboration
You
is
Mhm.
have
there. We
to.
can
It
do it.
is
You can outsource. There's nothing wrong with outsourcing. If you have
Right.
too much business, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing. I don't see
Right.
it. I don't see it being a problem. People don't
well,
don't
if you
seem
have too
to
much
want
business,
to.
call me. Let me help you.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
No, I agree. I agree. Well,
yeah,
ladies, listen, we're gonna be here all night because this is we was actually talking about this in the back end. Remember, it was like
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
it was like an hour
Lots of
conversation.
different facets. Yeah, we should
So
have
we're gonna.
gone live with that conversation.
Oh my God, we would have been here for a whole hour. So, are you guys ready for a Q&A? Do you want to take some questions? I see some people make some
Yes, I
comments.
see some chat questions coming through.
Yes.
All right, so let's go
So
up.
who's gonna take the questions? Karen, are you
All
gonna
right.
call them?
Yeah, somebody, Cheryl Griffin asks, what are some key customer service skills? So,
Mm.
who want to
Yes.
answer
What
it?
do you
Or
think,
each
Janet? I'm
person want
gonna
to answer?
answer, but Janet, you give it a stab first, Janet. What do you think? Based on
Active
your
listening.
experience, yes,
Active
active
listening.
listening.
Don't make me
Yes,
repeat
that's
Active
myself.
listening. Yeah,
that's
5 times.
important.
Don't make me repeat myself
Yep,
5 times.
Oh,
that's
active
important.
listening. Take it
Active
in,
listening.
digest it. They
Yeah.
don't have time and energy to constantly say the same thing. And if you're allowing them an opportunity to repeat their frustrations, it's going to remind them how frustrated they really
Mm-hmm.
are. They're going to get even more frustrated.
Right,
Yep. Yep.
exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. It does. It
That's
makes
a
them even
very good
more
point.
upset.
Yeah.
So what's
Well,
the second? So let's
I would
give three.
say the other side of
yes.
active listening is speaking in a language your customer understands. And I learned that
Oh,
having to deal with IT when I was in the corporate world. And when you have an issue with
Darian.
IT, you can never understand what they're saying. Like I'm saying, I do not work in IT. No, I don't know what that is. Like people only want to know, they really only want to know. It's not that they are being difficult with you and they don't want to follow your systems. It's just they don't understand and you're not helping them to understand. So I think, in addition to active listening, you need to speak in English or whatever language, but it needs to be so simple that the customer understands. And you can even use an everyday example, an analogy to get them to figure out what you're saying. But when you use all that tech language, sometimes it's easy to
Kill the
lose people.
jargon.
Yeah, yeah. So
Kill
they're
the jargon.
frustrated. You have them repeating
Come back
themselves,
to
and then
earth.
the answer they don't understand, and then
Be
somebody dies
curious.
because they get shot. I'm just
Yeah.
yeah.
saying that's yeah.
Agree.
I'm just
No, but no, that's
exaggerating.
true. No,
And
no,
people
but
go
that's
postal.
true.
Say,
No,
oh, why
that's
did she go
true.
postal? She's so
No.
calm and easygoing. We never thought she would shoot anybody, but okay.
So what would be the last skill? I say empathy,
I love empathy.
Yes.
That's a good
right?
one. Yeah.
Because
Having empathy.
yeah, I think it's
Yes.
even if I don't understand your problem, maybe I might not get it, but me trying to put myself in your shoes at this moment might help me try to break it down. Hey, listen, I get it. Try to help them the best way you can so they feel heard and understood. I think that's the two important
Mm-hmm.
things.
I
I think
agree.
people want to feel, if they
Mm-hmm.
go
Yeah.
into a bad moment. Yeah,
Don't fight
Yeah.
definitely.
fire with fire. What do
Yes,
Yeah.
firefighters
don't.
use to fight fire with? Water.
Water.
What?
Yeah.
Yes,
Opposite. Cool them down.
yes.
Yeah.
Cradle
Yeah,
them.
it's got
And
to
don't get flustered.
Right.
Just keep calm. It's all good. See any more questions, Karen?
No, I think it mostly comments. Cheryl also
Okay,
commented, so
great.
true, treat your employees right, and they would treat your customers right. David stated
Hi,
solid advice
David.
today so far, ladies. Yeah, so it
Mm-hmm.
mostly comments. Thank you for everybody for watching.
Uh,
And before we
yeah.
leave, I want to say one thing on closing of this live. On Sunday, right, 11:30 Eastern time, me and these two beautiful ladies are gonna start a conversation. It's so much going on in the world, right? So we came up with an idea where let's make us Sunday morning 11:30, just a chat where people could sit, talk, laugh, have discussions. Nothing too
Nothing too deep.
heartfelt, nothing too deep.
Yeah.
Just a great platform so we could talk, you know, have a laugh. It's a lot going on in this world. So let's give people some relief. Let's give people some laughter. I
I'll
think
show
people
Mm-hmm.
need
everybody my
that.
my English bulldog. His name is
Yes.
Brewski, like Teddy Brewski. We're big
Mm-hmm.
Patriots fans. Sorry, everyone. He's an awesome English bulldog. You can check him.
So, any last words, ladies, before we close?
Nope. I think this was a very excellent conversation. I
Yeah, it
enjoyed
was.
it. Customer service, I could talk about it forever.
I could listen to you forever.
It's
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, she be having some
You're
great
no
tips.
calling it customer experience because it's not just service. We don't want people to think of it as servitude. It's no, an experience for internal and external people. And really
Hmm.
and truly, the sky is the limit. So many offshoots for people to. So I'm gonna do like Janet. If you want to learn more, or if you want to take your business to the next level, just call me.
Yes. There you
Just call
go.
me.
They got the links out there. I did put
Yeah,
everybody links. So whoever's
I can
interested,
help
that
you. I
she can
can
help you
help you.
guys. So
I
And
can
we're
you
good
help
got
you.
listeners. We're really
Yeah, we're
good,
good
active
listeners.
yes.
Yeah,
listeners.
yeah, and we make a good
Yes.
team.
All right, ladies, everybody, thank you for watching. You have a great evening and
Yeah.
happy March 1st. Take
Happy March
care.
1st.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
See you.